Hello, my name is Icy, and this video is a reflection on my professional placement experience for my Design and Technology unit. I'll be using the ISO National Standards 127 as a framework to reflect on how I have developed as a pre-service teacher, the strategies I use, and what I learned from my students, mentors, and supervisors. Each reflection will include evidence-based research as well as examples from my teaching practice. And I will finish by sharing a key goal I am setting for my upcoming ATP. For Standard 1, know your students and how they learn. During my observation week, I was initially overwhelmed by learning names from many cultural backgrounds. My mentor supported me by sharing class name lists and background details through sector, which helped me to build confidence before teaching. In my Year 9 metalwork class, I first tried to keep all students at the same pace, but this created problems. Advanced students finished early and got bored, while others, including those needing education assistance, fell behind. To address this, I differentiated tasks, extension activities like quizzes, adding personal design elements, or peer support for top-tier students, while I worked more closely with those needing extra time. This reduced pressure, built collaboration, and made the class safer and more supportive. Tomlinson highlights differentiation as essential for engaging diverse learners, and Gay stresses the importance of cultural responsiveness. Both matched my experience. In the future, I plan to refine these strategies further so every student feels challenged but supported. For Standard 2, know the content and how to teach it. In Year 7 and 8 woodwork, students built wooden trucks. At first, I relied on detailed demonstrations and instructions at the beginning of the lesson with the whole class, but many students struggled once working independently. Lessons slowed, and I realized younger students needed more scaffolding and clear language. After feedback from my mentor, I adjust by using questioning at roll call to recall prior knowledge and safety routines, simplifying the definition of technical terms during demonstrations, and using diagnostic questions so it is easier for those younger year students to repeat correct steps before moving on. My mentor noted these challenges and changes made the demonstrations more effective and helped students stay focused. Rosenshine's principles emphasis checking for understanding and scaffolding, while Hattie's identifies explicit teaching and feedback as high-impact practices. For ATP, I plan to add visual scaffolds like step-by-step charts and handout working format sheets in the workshop to further support independent learning. Standard 3 is about plan for and implement effective teaching and learning. When my Year 10 metal class finished their project early, I noticed many students lacked strong knowledge of materials and terminology. To address this, I planned a mid-semester recap lesson on steel study, using structured phases, which are in the sequences of introduction, revision, explanation, demonstration, application, and assessing for understanding. The lesson includes diagnostic questioning, a real-world steel fabrication video, discussion of applications and recycling, and finally, creating an infographic on the steel life cycle based on their class study and research as a formative task. This sequence helped students connect theory with practice and recall terminology they had been forgetting in the workshop. My supervisor highlighted how the structured sequence kept students engaged and linked theory with practice. Mazzano stresses the value of structured lessons, and Hattie highlights formative assessment as a powerful influence. For my ATP, I want to embed small formative checkpoints more systematically into lessons to adapt more effectively to students' needs and prepare for future continuous study. Standard 4 is about create and maintain supportive and safe learning environments. In DNT workshops, safety and behavior management were my first and highest priorities. Every lesson began with PPE checks, safety glasses, tight back hair and loosened clothing, fully enclosed shoes, followed by safety reminders during demonstrations. I used diagnostic questioning on tool and machines use to ensure students understood procedures and any unsafe behavior was stopped immediately, followed by reporting and self-reflection. To maintain a supportive and positive environment, I also encouraged peer assistance mentoring so advanced students could support others. And I learned from my mentor the value of proximity. For example, in Year 8 woodwork, a group of boys were noisy until I moved them to the table where I usually gave instructions, demonstrations, and stayed closer. Their focus improved, and circulating the room reinforced expectations and support. Research by Emma and Efson highlights the importance of consistent routines, and Mazzano identifies proximity as a powerful behavior management tool. For ATP, I plan to trial student safety monitors to further build accountability for safe practice. Standard 5 shows access, provide feedback, and report on student learning. In the workshop, my main assessment strategy was circulating and questioning. I asked students to explain their processes, which gave me instant feedback to correct misunderstandings and helped students stay aligned with safety and learning intentions. My mentor commented that this real-life and real-time feedback helped students stay on track. In classroom lessons, I used prepared task sheets. That's including multiple choice questions and short answer questions, and crossword sheets to check understanding of terminology. A highlighting point was the infographic task on the life cycle of steel, which allows students to connect knowledge and practice using professional language. Over time, I noticed students becoming more confident in describing their design thinking with right terms. Black and Williams shows that formative assessment has a strong effect on achievement, and Hattie clarifies timely feedback as one of the most effective influences on learning. For ATP, I want to build a consistent framework for feedback, such as 2 stars and a wish strategy, so students know exactly how to reflect and improve. Standard 6 is engaging in professional learning. During my placement, I had many opportunities to engage in professional learning. I attended after-school staff meetings twice a week where leadership shared long-term goals and introduced collaborative groups in Aboriginal culture, sustainability, and well-being. These sessions showed me how professional learning communities can shape teaching practice across the whole school. I also learned a lot through feedback from my mentor and university supervisor. For example, my supervisor pointed out the importance of timing when sending students to collect tools. It should always happen after the demonstration and PPE checks. This small adjustment made a big difference for maintaining discipline and students' attention. Because of the shortage of DNT teachers and no technicians in my prior prac school, I also had the chance to teach and assist all classes from year 7 to 12. That provided me opportunities to observe and learn different teaching styles, meanwhile gave me a wide perspective on student learning cross-year levels, and helped me identify common weaknesses and habits that I can now plan to prevent or avoid in the future. These experiences highlighted the importance of being an active learner myself. Research by Timberley shows that professional learning is most effective when it's collaborative and linked directly to student outcomes. For my ATP, I plan to keep building on my practice by joining professional DNT associations. I can stay current with resources and teaching strategies. Standard 7 shows engage professionally with colleagues, parents, career, and the community. Professional engagement was another key part of my placement. I worked closely with my mentor and other DNT teachers in the same department to manage resources, and I often discussed lesson planning, marking, and safety strategies with colleagues. I also had the chance to assist with marking the Year 12 Material Study EST exams and worked collaboratively with another teacher to mark the Year 7 and 8 wooden car projects. These experiences gave me a real insight into the consistency and fairness needed in assessment across different year levels. Beyond the classroom, I also contributed by sending positive progress notes to families, which helped strengthen the connection between home and school. This showed me how collaboration with both colleagues and parents can directly support students' learning. I've seen highlights that effective school-family community partnerships improve students' achievement, and I saw that firsthand when students responded positively after their family were acknowledged and impressed. Looking ahead to my ATP, I plan to develop more consistent communication with parents, even short progress emails, to build stronger partnerships and further motivate students in their learning. In conclusion, reflecting on my placement through the ASO standards has shown me how much I have grown as a pre-service teacher. From learning students' needs to planning and delivering lessons, managing workshop safety, and giving effective feedback, I have also learned the importance of continually engaging in professional learning and building strong partnerships with colleagues, families, and their wider school community. My key goal for ATP is to strengthen my formative assessment and feedback strategies so that students can not only support it but also challenged to reflect and improve. I look forward to applying these lessons and continually to grow as an educator. Thank you very much for listening.